Yeah. Wanangoja praise team. Yes, praise God church.
Na tuombe tena. Twakushukuru Mwenyezi Mungu Baba wetu wa mbinguni kwa sababu ya kutuwezesha kuja katika kanisa hili ambalo linajengwa kwa utukufu wa jina lako takatifu. Tumeanza ibada hapa siku ya leo ikiwa dhihirisho Mwenyezi Mungu kwamba utatembea nasi na utatuwezesha kulimaliza jengo hili ili tuweze tukiabudu katika jengo hili. Na sasa Mwenyezi Mungu, tunapoanza uanze nasi na utuelekeze kwa mambo yote Mwenyezi Mungu. Uwabariki wa Kristo wote na wote walioko mbali ambao wanatusikiza na kutazama, hata na wao ukaweza kuwabariki pamoja nasi. Tunaomba haya tukiamini kwa Yesu Kristo Bwana wetu. Amen. Tutaweza kutulia tusomewe somo la kwanza.
Somo la kwanza linatoka katika kitabu cha Hesabu, Numbers 9:15 to 23. Numbers 9:15 to 23. Tuendelee. On the day the tabernacle, the tent of the testimony, was set up, the cloud covered it. From evening till morning, the cloud above the tabernacle looked like fire. That is how it continued to be. The cloud covered it, and at night it looked like fire. 17. Whenever the cloud lifted from above the tent, the Israelites set out. Wherever the cloud settled, the Israelites encamped. At the Lord's command, the Israelites set out, and at his command, they encamped. As long as the cloud stayed over the tabernacle, they remained in camp. When the cloud remained over the tabernacle a long time, the Israelites obeyed the Lord's order and did not set out. 20. Sometimes the cloud was over the tabernacle only a few days. At the Lord's command, they would encamp, and then at his command, they would set out. Sometimes the cloud stayed only from evening till morning, and when it lifted in the morning, they set out. Whether by day or by night, whenever the cloud lifted, they set out. 22. Whether the cloud stayed over the tabernacle for 2 days or a month or a year, the Israelites would remain in camp and not set out. But when it lifted, they would set out. The last one. At the Lord's command, they encamped, and at the Lord's command they set out. They obeyed the Lord's order in accordance with the command through Moses. And this is the word of the Lord.
Thanks be to our God. Asante sana. Why we are here and we have started our our service in this sanctuary is because this is a unique year to this church, because we want to do the roofing. And therefore I want to welcome Mr. Gata to come and brief us. Then from there we continue.
Bwana asifiwe. Asante sana. I welcome you to this session of this today's service. And I would like you to do something. Can you come down, including inside this shelter? Go slowly. It's too far. It can't fall on you. Because I want you to see the steel works. When you are there, you can see what I'm going to tell you about. Let's come inside. You can go on the altar. It's not yet commissioned. Yeah, you can stay on the altar. It's not commissioned yet. Asante sana. Why we are here is because we had you all took to do a very challenging part of this building, and that's actually the steel roof and the steel roof covering. Many of you have almost lost hope, as during the corona and all that time. We took a lot of time in this stage, but now we came to show you that we are actually moving very at a good space. However, let me start off by saying that I thank God because this far He has brought us. I also thank you all because you have never given up. We thought we would do it for 3 years. It's going to 7 years, and you are still with us. Let me go very quickly about the contract for the roof. I don't want to talk about the rest of the work. We signed this contract for 7 months. By now we are on the 3rd year. And you know, I've said what happened. But many people have come here and they thought really it's not happening. Where we are, this contract started with 4 stages. The first stage was to do the girders. Do you see those big box-like things? And therefore, there's one here, there's one there, there's one here, and that there is the longest and the biggest. That is called a girder. It's like a wall plate to carry the roof. That was a very major part of this. And in that girders, we also included the wings. All the wings you see, which some of them have even paralines to carry the mabati. The wings are that side, the front there, and the back there. And then this side. This is what we call the church itself. Those are the wings. They have other businesses. But here is where the sanctuary. So the second one was actually the trusses. You see the trusses, the things going up to the dome. Do you see something going like hexagonal? That's the dome that we have been talking about. On that we are going to put the windows, and after the windows we will put the roof now. On the top of the roof we are going to put the main cross, which is 18 feet high. It will be carried by the dome, so that when you are far, you can be able to see it. We also lit it at night, so that at night you can see this cross from either wherever you come from. So, and that will end now the structure of the roof. And we're almost there. We have done the bigger part. So can you clap for yourself? So the next level is actually the paralines. They have already started on the outer side. But the real paralines are on this section. And the mabati to cover the roof covering is the last one. So if they finish this part, which we should be able to do possibly before the end of the month, they'll start doing the parallel lines, because we will know, possibly it has been announced to you, the bishop will be visiting us at on 13th, and on 13th, you'll place the first sheets on that building. If you go there, we have created a platform so that it doesn't fall down, and that's where the ceremony will be. So what we are saying, we wanted to show you this to show, although it looks so, how do I say, at least now we have moved, and we are moving towards the finish. We thought by the end of this December we'll be through. We didn't. Now we think by the end of mid-February, when the bishop comes, we will now be starting the whole roof covering. And the roof covering is another elephant in the house. But I think we have the fundraising chairman. When you get to the church, you'll be able to say what he needs you to do. Any question? So with that, I think I was only supposed to talk about the roof. And I think you have understood. Unless there is any question, because although you're in the service, and the service you don't ask questions. If someone didn't get something, please, quickly we can explain. If there is none, thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Gata, for that. Now you have another new vocabulary. Today we have learned two. One is Gada. Gadas, yeah? The other one is dome. Hakuna watu watakuwa wameelewa mjengo kama nyinyi. By the end of this the construction of this whatever the sanctuary. Bwana asifiwe. Now on 13th, and I have to say this before we go back to this church, as you have said, the bishop will launch the covering of the roof on one of the wings, that is on that side. If you are keen enough and you are not colorblind like myself, you can see those purlines. The gray is different from the gray that we have here. So that is the last, paint, that the coat that we have, okay? So that Sunday, watu wengi tutapanda juu. Some of us will be there, and on the other side, on the bishop's lodge, tunaita hivyo, and those that are not going to be able to go up, watakaa hapa, kwa sababu watamuona askofu akiwa wapi? Pale. Sawa sawa?